I'm not a very good entrepreneur or business person. The winter months are very quiet and slow. I really hoped that this restful period would become a creative one. I did get to do some gouache commissions earlier in the year. And I also made some new vinyl stickers.
I gotta do something, you know? I gotta get myself excited, and I'm very excited.
This perfect excuse to make what I want at an unrushed pace before deadlines and themes and events kind of take over. What really happened is I doom scrolled a lot and quietly absorbed the world's pain. I wasted a bunch of time on a failed painting. My laptop broke, which sent me into this bizarre panic spiral of complete dysfunction.
I won't be able to print anything. All of my files and all of my things is on the laptop.
It's just kind of embarrassing how poorly I'm handling having to change all my processes.
And then I got sick for the first time in 7 years, which meant mostly just isolating myself in a cold room for 2 weeks. I was really starting to believe that this was a message from the universe to just accept my failures and quit everything. And I had this sketchbook journal staring me in the face. And this is a project that I started last August, where I would draw something in it every single day. It's supposed to be freeing and fun and self-indulgent, but during this time I didn't want to have fun and be productive. I just wanted to cry and whine. And it's not like I didn't have ideas. I was so stuck in my hate spiral that drawing felt impossible and pointless. There are different kinds of art block, but in this case, the longer that I was forced to rest, the more frustrated and worried I got. This was a mental and emotional art block that for me requires a bit of force. That'd be kind of fun to kind of show you what happens during those times. Here's some pages from when I was feeling like crap. I was drawing a house because I had a picture of a building that I took. And I'm really feeling myself going through the motions. I'm just drawing a study. It's very boring. This is me trying to force myself to draw when I'm not feeling it. Am I actually ignoring my mind and my body and hiding behind practicing people walking, drawing a building? Actually sitting down to draw this was painful, and I could feel this tension inside of my body. Let me know in the comments how that feels for you. It's where you're just you're kind of half-assing it and it's not really looking right. For me, maybe it's something in my chest, or maybe it's a feeling of dragging something heavy. The first time I noticed this was that, man, I haven't looked at the sketchbook for a long time. I don't remember what's in here. I remember finding it impossible to draw for the same reason. Everything I was making, I hated. Oh yeah, and then so I started recording actual stories that were bad news, I guess. I needed something to bring myself out of it. And so this was the first time that I actually tried to force my creativity back, and this was the snails. And this was when the protests, anytime I tried to draw anything, it was just bad. I hated it. And what I ended up doing is I filled this page with snails. They're not good renditions of snails, they're just colors, and they all have little blossoms to represent protest signs. Wrote things like "let them crawl," slow but powerful. And so in my mind, it was sort of taking something that was frustrating me and occupying so much of my headspace, making something with it, but in a more kind of hopeful way, or a positive way maybe. Opened myself up to do one of my favorite paintings, Incoming Storm painting that I did. And I love that painting. And it wouldn't have happened if I didn't do this. Art journaling was so good for this because I'm able to do the automatic writing where I'm just scribbling out lyrics that I relate to, or I'm doing the same sign stuff in here. I drew this guy because I was you can't show sad feelings online. People will ditch you if you are sad online. And I did this one, I think just before I got sick, when my computer was still broken. I did a lot of scribbling here, and I drew ominous pictures of all of these monsters that were all coming at me at once. But to loosely quote Rafi Perez, expressing yourself, but in a way that is empowering and full of hope. And honestly, I didn't feel like doing that. I drew this little man, if I want to self-insert. And so this is him taking energy from things that are inspiring. It was recently Lunar New Year, so we were seeing lots of pretty hangings, a plant that I'm growing, some birds, and it was important for me to do this side first, even though it was the hardest side. I made sure to save this part for last, because the last thing that I want to feel while I'm working on this is his power, and not on this part where I'm just sulking. I didn't believe this at the time. I started drawing rain frogs because they're very cute. But I noticed that when they're yawning, they kind of look like they're screaming. And so I just drew at my absolute freaking limit, and I drew him in a box on purpose. Shh, shh. Those slashing motions feel good. This is such a happy color that I love, and it makes me feel good to see it. Making like angry arties screaming, but it looks cute. It's not going to make me feel bad to look back through my sketchbook and see them. And I decided that felt so good, I'm going to do it again. Keep doing this every single day until my grievances have been heard. I will not stop until this is over. And I guess I took a break because we watched The Ruins. And then this is the last one where I was like, okay. But like, how fun is that to have a protest of rain frogs in your sketchbook when you feel like crap? Highly recommend. So now that I got a lot of my aggression and frustration out, I was ready to make something that I wanted to love and share and enjoy. Although this painting doesn't feel like a breakthrough painting that I'm doing with my whole chest, you know. Sometimes if I need a quick idea, I will just pull a tarot card from the top of the deck or whatever and see if I can come up with something with that theme. And this theme was, I think it was the Empress, and I might be wrong, but I think the underlying theme is abundance, the opposite of scarcity mindset. If I may use a hustle bro term, she is in an abundance mindset. She is surrounded by so many beautiful flowers. She's decorated to look like royalty. Lots of fruit, very beautiful colors. I really wanted to do a red and green color scheme. I felt calm going through it. I felt like it was meant to exist. I was relaxed. I had practiced on another piece of paper to make sure the colors look right. I'm in my comfort zone here, but this was just so important to me. I just felt like I needed something. I needed to feel successful at something. And because I had done the prep work already of doing my cathartic writing and sketching and my rain frog protest, that I could go into this painting a little bit lighter, a beloved creature in an absolute state of abundance. And it was a little nerve-wracking doing the red and green and hoping that it doesn't turn into mud. And I think the way that worked out is that I really hung out with the yellows. I did like a yellow green and a very, very warm red, almost like a red orange. Like yellow was like that little buddy in the middle, and they can hold hands. And I think it looked great. And so here is my result, the Empress. And I love it. And now I feel like I have something behind me that doesn't make me feel misfortune, I guess.